Hi, so this is my first post since the Philippines. I want to let you know right off I might have to stop this video quickly because I'm supposed to be meeting somebody and they're supposed to be here now, but they're not yet, so I thought I'd start the video. I wanted to post today for no good reason except to get started posting. I've been living in China for 3.5 years, and ooh, that went dark, didn't it? We don't want that. Okay, for 3.5 years, and I've not really communicated much about China to friends back home. So this is for anybody that wants to, friends, relatives, whoever, who wants to look. I started posting recently in the Philippines for a vacation. I was talking to my sister and I said, I'm going to start posting. I'm going to post some things on vacation so you can see what the Philippines is like. And she said, okay, cool. And she really liked them. And it occurred to me that I've not been very good about blogging. I haven't made much in the way of blog posts since I've been here, and I'll make a post and say, I'm totally going to start posting, I'm really going to do it this time, and there'll be one post, and 6 months later there'll be another post. So my blog is pretty sparse. And I'd have to say, for the past few months, actually since I've been back from the Philippines, I've really tried to start posting, and I don't have internet. And Blogger app doesn't work, and you can't really type on a phone anyway, so anywho, long story, even longer. The blog wasn't really working out. I'm not really using it. And this thing was really easy on vacation. I feel like I learned a couple of lessons. So I'm going to try and start posting these. And the point is to just try and show life in China. It's different than, back in the U.S. And maybe you'll find it interesting. So what I'm doing right now is I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher in English teacher in China. One of those things you've heard about going abroad to do, and it's a lot of fun, and I like it. I'm not the typical age for that job. Most people who do this are in their early 20s. They're just out of college, and they're just coming for an adventure. And I was just unemployed, late 30s, kind of ready to have my midlife crisis. And I said, when I heard about the position from a friend, I thought, now's the time. I'm not going to do it if I don't do it now. I'm unemployed, so I'm not losing anything by going. Was not romantically attached. There was no reason not to go, so I packed up and went. And I've loved it, and I've stayed here. I've been here, like I said, 3.5 years. So I wanted to start showing a little bit what life is like to people back home. Several people have expressed interest in coming to see China, to visit. And that'd be great. I hope they do. But I also know that most people won't. It's a long trip. And boy, if you've never traveled internationally, I don't know I would recommend China as your first place. I guess if you want to dive in head first, but it is very different than the U.S. So because it's so different, it's fun to see what it's like here. So I want to do that. And what I'm doing right now is, like I said, I'm a teacher, and I split my time between two schools. One is an after-school program. That's my main job. People I have a contract with. And they're in town. They're called training schools here, and they're for a lot of different things. Ours is English, of course. They usually focus on one thing, but some training schools have several. I worked at a place one time that had English, math, ballet, karate, music, all sorts of after-school things for them to do. When they leave school, they go to another school. Although the after-school things tend to be more play, which is good. If I had my way, I would do mostly games. Unfortunately, the place I work is they're out of earshot now, so they're not the best school. And they don't use the best material. They're nice people, but, a lot of these schools, they're businesses. These after-school programs are not They're not public schools, and they're not regular private schools either. I don't mean to knock private schools. This is a private school that I'm at now. So, on that note, where I'm at now is the other school. It's called Huasha, and it is a school where, so the main school I'm at, I'll have after-school classes of a dozen kids at most, and here the standard class is 40. So it's a much bigger school. It's a real school. I mean, kids come here. It's kind of like a boarding school. I guess that's what you call it. They have the rooms here. They sleep in dorms. Their ages range from first grade, so about 6 years old, to I think 6th grade. It's the highest it goes. And they have dorms. They sleep in dorms, and they do all their classes here. And this is Sunday night. The classes that I'm going to have now are for kids who want extra English lessons, which I think is going to be interesting, hopefully. And it's supposed to be small classes, so that'll be nice, instead of the normal 40. So I'm supposed to be meeting with the lady. I hope I'm in the right place. I just saw I know how to read numbers. She sent me the room number. So here I'm sitting here, waiting on her to show up. That's weird. Can you see this? I'm touching the screen. Okay, anyway. So I had to learn a little about posting these vlogs. I didn't put enough thought into this. I did not get a selfie stick, so I'm trying to hold the camera at the right distance. I think I tend to hold it too close. I watched some of my videos from the Philippines. This is, as I said, this is my first post, so I need to get some equipment, like a selfie stick. I think that's probably the best way to talk, because then we're just in a room. I'll spin the camera around, you can see. We're just in a classroom, so you're not missing anything here. But there's going to be some situations. Maybe I'll walk over to the door for you. There's going to be some situations where there's interesting things to see around me as I yammer. And I really would like to have that selfie stick so that you can see what's around me. And maybe an editor, because this is just a raw video. I'm using the YouTube app right now. I'm just posting directly with YouTube, which means no editing, and I can't even flip the camera, as you can tell, like you can in a video call. So it's less technologically advanced than a video call. So I'm going to make some improvements on that. That will be coming. And the things I want to talk about are, I don't know if I want to do, obviously I want to talk because I'm going on and on now. By the way, if the lady walks in, I will just stop this. Yes, hi, are you?
Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm 7, but July is have class.
Oh, okay.
So you should wait about 10 minutes, okay?
Okay, 10 minutes, no problem. No problem, thank you. Oh, thank you. Lights. Yeah, so I don't remember what I was saying. Editing. That's a good segue, isn't it? Editing. So I want to be able to do that. There's some free video editors. I don't want anything special. Let me move on to the other thing that I want to do, which won't start for a while. I want to make these posts about weekly. Hopefully I'll have something interesting, maybe more interesting than a classroom to look at next time. And I'll get the editor so that I can, take different shots. But the other thing that I want to do is I get to travel a good bit while I'm here. On the big holidays like Spring Festival and over the summer, I get to travel to Southeast Asia. I get to travel anywhere I want, but I usually go to Southeast Asia, especially in the winter. Because, man, when you're sitting here and it doesn't really get that cold in this part of China, down to freezing about. Usually doesn't stay that way long, but it still feels cold. This insulation is not good in Chinese buildings. Most of them are solid concrete, which means virtually no insulation at all. I've yet to get an employer that gets you a heater that's up to snuff. Since I'm staying, I was considering buying my own heater next year, which would be a great improvement. But boy, when it's cold over the over the winter semester, and then you get to that long break, and Southeast Asia is cheap, beautiful, wonderful beaches. It's hard to consider doing something like, which I thought about this year, like going to Sapporo in Japan. And I would have to learn to ski because I don't know how to ski. But it's a ski destination. I think that would be fun. I also think I will never do it. At least not that part of the year. Because, you know, you're sitting here, it's cold as hell. And then you get the opportunity to travel. You're going to a beach. There's just no two ways about it. So anyway, I get to travel a good bit. That's my point. And even on long weekends and you know, other times a year, if I ever switch back to a school like this, where it's got a regular schedule, I will have regular long weekends. They do that a lot. And those times I want to travel around China. You know, I've done a little bit of traveling around Hunan, but I really have not traveled as much as I would like to. Yeah. So the videos that I want to make, the longer videos that I want to make, are about those trips. And I realize there's a ton of YouTube videos out there about traveling and, you know, advice. And I don't really want to give people advice. I mean, if you find something I'm doing informational, great, and if it helps you out, great. But I want to steer away from just giving advice and mainly just show what's here. I actually have a decent camcorder. Well, I have a camcorder. I don't know if it's decent because I'm not really well-versed enough in this. So this will be a learning experience for me. I don't expect these to become the hottest thing on the web. I don't really know enough to make a superior video. But I'm in a place and in a position where I'm seeing awesome stuff all the time, and I'm always thinking, nobody else is seeing this. This is too bad. Why is no one seeing this? Yeah, so that's what I want to do. I want to just kind of share that, put it on the internet. I'm going to make it public, of course, because why not? I don't, like I said, I don't think it's going to get that popular, but share it with people that you think might be interested. I'm mainly talking immediately to my sister, who's the only one who watches these right now. Since you're the only one that watches them, if you think someone might be interested, share it with them. And that goes to everybody, of course. And this video will be the least interesting, I think. Okay, I gotta go. Bye.